Hello and welcome. This is Keith, the Director of Software Support at Sage Applications. This video is a user guide for instructors who will be using the Sage Educational EMR. This video is split into sections for ease of reference. Use the timestamps on screen to jump to the listed section. First thing we will need to do is log into the system. For the purposes of this demonstration, we are using our Sage development server. Login at your institution will look somewhat different depending upon the email system that your institution uses. At most schools, your login information will match your institutional email and the password that you use to log in to your accounts. After we log in, we arrive at the Instructor dashboard. The sidebar on the left is collapsible using this button, the three lines in the upper left corner. In the upper right corner, you can click the moon icon to switch your view to dark mode. On the left sidebar, there is a quick link back to your dashboard and quick links to each of the courses you are currently teaching. The calendar icon will bring up a calendar that lists all assignments, start and end dates for all of your courses. The logout button is at the bottom of the left sidebar. The assignment template and catalog icons on the sidebar will be reviewed in a later part of the video. Now let's review the dashboard. At the top, you will see a list of ungraded assignments. These are assignments that are closed to students, but have not yet been marked as graded. In this next section, there is a list of all the courses you are currently teaching. Below that, there is a list of all the courses you have taught in the past. This list is collapsed by default, but can be opened with the arrow icon. Finally, there is a list of any future courses you have been assigned to. Future courses are courses that have not yet started, relative to their listed start date. Courses that have not yet been assigned a starting date may appear in this area until their starting date is assigned. Let's take a look at a course. Click on the Edit button next to Demo Course to open it. Here on the course dashboard, we can see the name at the top. This is the name that both students and instructors will see when they access the course. Your courses will likely be named the same way they are in your institution's course catalog, with perhaps the addition of a section number or qualifier, like Fall 2025. Directly below the course name is the course description. The description is presented to students as text on their dashboard below the course name. We recommend you keep the course description brief rather than use your institution's course catalog description in this field. Later in this video, we will look at the course from the student view, so you will be able to see what the course description field looks like on the student side of the interface. The start and end date fields are the dates your course begins and ends on. Students will have access to the course only in between these two dates. The Set Instructors button allows you to add other instructors to your course. This is a helpful feature if you are co-teaching a course with another instructor, or if another instructor is covering your course for you temporarily. Only accounts that have instructor privileges will be available to select in this menu. The Import Assignment button allows you to quickly add an assignment you have previously saved into this course. We will review how to save and import assignments later in this video. The Create Assignment button creates a new blank assignment template. Read-only cases can be searched for and added to your course in the catalog. Note that student deliverables like quiz questions or auditing student interactions with the EMR are not available for read-only cases. To assign questions or student documentation in the EMR to this read-only case, we will need to convert it to an assignment. To convert this read-only case to an assignment, you can click the clipboard icon. When we click this icon, you can see the case leaves the read-only case section and jumps to the assignment section below. Let's review our course's assignment section. Click the Edit button for a given assignment to edit its details. Finally, at the bottom of the course screen is the student list. This is collapsed by default, but you can open it by clicking the down arrow on the right. There are two ways to add a student to the course. Students may be added individually by clicking the Add Person button. Students may also be added by importing a student list by clicking on the list icon. The list icon will allow you to import spreadsheets that contain the list of students. Most learning management systems, like Canvas, Moodle, D2L, and Blackboard, have a student list export function that allows you to save a list of students and their email addresses in an Excel file automatically. You can use those files without modifying them to import a class list to our system. We will begin on the course page for demo course. As a reminder, we can click the Create Assignment button if we want to make a new assignment. For this demonstration, we will edit an existing assignment. Click the Edit button to get started. Here we are on the assignment page. At the top is the assignment name. This assignment was converted from a read-only case, so it has taken on the name of the patient. Let's change the name of this assignment to Assignment 3. Next, we should enter an open and due date. Let's set the open date to today and the due date to 1 week from today. If we leave the open time blank, the open time will be set to the system default of midnight, the first minute of the day in question. Likewise, if left blank, the due time will be set to the default time of 23:59, or 1 minute before midnight, the last minute of the day in question. On the right side of the screen, we have an option to give the assignment a time limit. When a student opens an assignment with a time limit, the timer will begin counting down so long as the assignment remains open. Once the timer expires, the student will no longer be able to enter new answers. The timer will only count down while the assignment is open, and pauses automatically if the student closes the assignment. If the student's internet connection drops or if the computer crashes unexpectedly, the timer likewise stops automatically. Directly below the time limit, we have the assignment status selections. The SAGE system does not allow an assignment to be available to students and editable by the instructor simultaneously, to prevent instructor changes occurring at the same time that students are completing an assignment. Thus, when the editing option is selected, the instructor can make changes to an assignment and students will be locked out. When the status is set to open, the assignment is open to the students. This will bypass the normal open and due date of the assignment. Likewise, if an assignment is set to closed, it will be inaccessible to students, irrespective of its open and due dates. In most situations, you will want to use the scheduled status for your assignments. This will automatically open the assignment on its open date and close it on its due date. The Grades Published button is for after you have graded an assignment. We will use this button later in the video after we grade the assignment. The assignment description box allows us to enter a description for an assignment. This one has defaulted to the patient name from the read-only case we imported. We will review what the description looks like in the student view later in this video when we review the student view. The preview button allows the instructor to view the assignment as the student will see it. We will revisit this button later in the video. The Save as Template button will save the assignment as one of your assignment templates, which you can reuse. This is a helpful feature if you want to use an assignment exactly as it is in the future. If, for example, you are teaching the same course in 2 different semesters, you could set up your assignments in the first semester, save them using the Save as Template feature, and then import them into the course for the second semester without having to rebuild them from scratch. Moving on, we see the patient case study we added. The tags underneath the patient name are how we organize case studies in our catalog, by difficulty, setting, age group, and medical condition. We will review these tags and what they mean in a later section of the video. Click on the down arrow next to the patient's picture and name to edit the assignment. The Import Questions button allows us to import questions that have already been written for this case. Let's look at the Import Questions option. Here we can see a list of questions that have already been written. Questions marked with the institution icon are shared within the institution. Other instructors at your school will have access to these questions, even if they are not teaching the same course. Questions marked with the person icon are questions that you have previously created for the patient, and are not shared with anyone else. We can select any of the questions we want from this list by checking the box next to a given question. We will import 1 question for this demonstration, but you may import as many as you like at the same time. Select the checkbox for the question you would like to import, then click Import Selected. Let's create 2 new questions. When you create a new question, the item name field is optional and will not be visible to the students, but may help you remember what your questions are about. The first new question will be multiple choice. Let's use the drop-down menu to select one best answer. The item stem box is where the question goes. This will be a simple true or false question. The Add Options button allows us to add answer options. Let's add one for true and one for false. Mark the correct answer by clicking this clipboard icon. In the Answer Rationale box, we can type the rationale for the question. This is also an optional field. Students will be able to see question rationale for any items they missed after the assignment grades have been posted. Now we click this button to save our question. We're going to create one additional question. Click the Create Question button again to make a new question. This time we will make an order review question. Order review questions require the students to interact with the chart to complete. In the grading section, you will be able to see all the student interactions with the chart, such as documenting vital signs in the flow sheets, placing orders, or administering medications. Order review questions are particularly helpful in a simulation lab setting if you want to audit the student's documentation after the simulation. They can also be helpful if you would like to assess a student's understanding of an intervention. For example, if you had a case study in which a student needs to insert a nasogastric tube, you might assign an order review question instructing students to order the appropriate follow-up test to confirm nasogastric tube placement prior to starting tube feeding. Then when you grade the order review question, correct orders could include an abdominal or chest X-ray. For this example, we will create a simple order review question to instruct students to administer the patient's medications. Next, let's review question weighting. For this example, we would like students to receive 1 point for the long answer and 1 point for the multiple choice question. However, we want the medication administration question just entered to be worth 4 points. I can use the arrows or type in the number of points desired in this area. Now let's add a second case study to this assignment. Click the Add Case Study button to find a new case to add. You can look in the catalog to search by topic, setting, or difficulty if you would like to add a specific type of case study to your assignment. For this demonstration, we will simply add the first case study on the list. If you need a reminder of what the case study is about, you can click the spyglass to open the patient's EMR in another window. Click the plus icon to add the case study to the assignment. Now we can see the new patient case study is in the assignment. If we intend to use this case study in the assignment, we would need to populate it with questions for the case study. Instead, let's say we changed our minds and don't want this case study in the assignment after all. Click the Remove Case button to get rid of a case study from your assignment. At the bottom of the screen is Student Assignments. Here you will see the work that the students have submitted and be able to grade it once the assignment is open and students have begun working on it. Beginning on the dashboard, we will open our demo course. Let's say we want to save Assignment 3 as a template to be reused. Click the Edit icon to enter Assignment 3, then click the Save as Template button in the assignment. Next, click on the Assignment Templates link on the left sidebar. On the Assignment Templates page, we see a list of the assignments we have saved as templates. Note that you may build a new assignment template from scratch if you click the New Assignment Template button at the bottom of this page. Let's select the template we just added for Assignment 3. Click the Edit button to open the template. The Assignment 3 template saved a copy of the assignment in the course exactly as it was at the time we clicked Save as Template. Note that any changes that we make to this template will be made only to this template. So no matter what we do to this template, nothing about Assignment 3 will change in the demo course. This allows us to change the template if there's any part of an assignment we are dissatisfied with and want to change for when we use again in the future. For example, let's say a student pointed out to us that this multiple choice question about the patient's gender is written strangely. The answers are true or false, but the question is phrased as a yes or no question. We could change the answers to yes and no for future use of this assignment. We could also choose to add or remove questions from this template. Let's get rid of the question about asthma education using the garbage can icon. And we will create a new question about further assessment of this patient's asthma. If we wanted to add another case study to this template, we can use the Add Case Study button. We can also add a time limit and an assignment description at the top of the screen, or change the name of the assignment if desired. The Import Questions, Create Question, and Remove Case buttons function in exactly the same way as the Assignment Editing area. Now let's use our Assignment 3 template and import it to the test course. Click the test course link on the left sidebar. Next, click Import Assignment. All of our assignment templates are visible in this area. Select Assignment 3. Now if we scroll down to the assignment area of the test course, we can see Assignment 3 has been populated here. Let's open it by clicking the Edit button. We can see that everything we entered into the assignment template area has been populated. The status of any imported assignment will be set to Editing, and imported templates do not automatically set assignment open or due dates. Let's give our assignment an open and due date, and let's set the assignment to Scheduled so it will open and close to students automatically on those dates. The assignment template function together with the scheduled option can be a practical way to preset your course assignments. We recommend naming your assignment template something that is descriptive of the course they are intended for, and to avoid using generic or duplicated assignment template names. Descriptive assignment names will help you to avoid errors like accidentally importing a generically titled Assignment 3 into the wrong course. Let's grade an assignment. We are currently on the Instructor dashboard, and any assignments that are past the due date or closed and have not yet been marked as graded will be under the Ungraded Assignments at the top of the dashboard. Here you will see the assignment title, as well as the course title and the date it was due. It looks like we just have one assignment to grade, so let's click the Edit icon to get started. We can see at the bottom of the assignment page who has completed the assignment. If we needed to give a student an extension on the assignment, we could click the clock icon to give them additional time. You can either give a student an extension in the form of extra time to complete a time-limited assignment, or you can extend the due date. As with setting due dates and times, the due time will default to 23:59, the last minute of the given day, if you do not write down a specific time. Let's extend the student's deadline to tomorrow. Let's get started on grading the assignment. Click the clipboard with the checkbox to get started. This assignment had only one associated case study, with 3 questions assigned. Multiple choice questions are graded automatically by the system and are floated to the bottom of the screen. This student got the multiple choice item correct, so the system has already given them 1 point. Moving back to the top, we can grade the long answer and order questions. The long answer question looks to be correct. If we wanted to leave the student feedback about this question, we could do so in the Instructor feedback box. Let's write "Good job" for now. By default, the system gives full points for each question. It is up to the instructors to choose where and when to deduct points. If this student missed the question, we could drag the slide bar back to deduct from the score. We can also type the desired score into the box if we wanted to give half credit. Next, we will grade the order question. Click the down arrow to open the Student Orders area. Here we can audit orders that students have placed by category. This question relates to medication administrations, so let's open that subcategory. All medications given will be listed under Medication Administration. This patient only has one, albuterol. When we open it, we can see in the status box that the medication has been given, along with the date and time that the student documented the administration. Note that the date and time are reflective of the time that the student enters in the medication administration, and not the time the student was active in the EMR. This question was weighted as being worth 4 points. Let's say we only want to give this student 3 points for the administration. Let's slide the bar back to 3, and we can write a comment for why we deducted points. That's all the material to grade for this assignment. Let's mark it as graded by using the button at the top of the screen. Then we can move to the next ungraded assignment. This was the only student whose assignment we needed to grade, so at the top of the screen there is a Return to Assignment button. This button says Next Ungraded Assignment, and will jump you to the next student whose work is ungraded if you still have assignments left to grade. For now, let's click Return to Assignment to go back to the menu. Once you have finished grading all of your assignments, you will want to change the assignment status to Grades Published. This pushes the grades out to your students and allows them to see your feedback, as well as any available question rationale for the questions they missed. Let's access the catalog by clicking on the link on the navigation sidebar on the left side of the screen. Note that you can access the catalog from any part of the instructor interface, including while you are editing assignments. Our system saves your work automatically, so it's okay to start making an assignment and then navigate away from your work to look at the course catalog. In the course catalog, we can see a few items of interest. We will start with the middle of the screen, where you will see rows of patient case studies. Each patient has a unique name and picture. Next to the patient's name, you can see a one-line description of what the case study is about. Our first patient in the list, for example, is an uncomplicated NSTEMI. As a note, the students do not see the one-line case study description. Below the description, you will see the tags associated with the case. Each case study has a tag for difficulty level, setting, and patient age group. Each case study also has at least one tag for the disease process or medical problem associated with the case. Our first case is tagged as coronary disease, but the fourth case on the list has more than one disease process tagged. Additionally, some case studies are tagged as simulation compatible. While any of our case studies may be used in the simulation lab, simulation compatible cases have supplemental materials available to guide the instructor through simulation implementation. If you are interested in using a simulation compatible case, contact Sage Support for a copy of the supplemental materials. If we click the spyglass icon, we can see a little more about this case and preview this patient's EMR. The information in this pop-up menu is intended to provide you with additional information about the case study and its intended use. The information in this prompt is not available to students. Each case study from the Sage catalog also includes recommended teaching points. From this window, we can click the Launch Case Study button to open this patient's EMR as the student would view it. The blurb that comes up in the EMR is the same blurb your students will see when they open the case study. Click Continue to enter the chart. The chart will automatically open in a new browser tab. From this point, the EMR displayed is the same interface that students will see. For additional guidance, please watch our student video guide on EMR navigation. Let's close this tab and return to the catalog. Once we find a case study we would like to use, we can add it to one of our course's assignments in one of two ways. The first was discussed in editing assignments. When you add a case study using the Add Case Study button, you can find this patient's name in the list of available case studies. Alternatively, if you would like to add this patient as a view-only case, you should click the plus icon in the catalog view. Let's add this case study to Demo Course and then navigate to the demo course. We can see that the case study was successfully added to the view-only case list. As a reminder, if we wanted to convert this case study into an assignment, we can use the Convert to Assignment button on the right. Now let's return to the catalog and review the search feature. At the top of the catalog, there is a search function. In the search bar on the right, you can type in a patient's name if you already know which patient you are interested in. The Select Category drop-down menu allows you to search the catalog using these tags. We can select a body system and view all of the cases associated with that body system. For example, all of the available cardiac case studies are listed here. We can also search by case study difficulty level. We have sorted our cases into a 5-tier difficulty system, where Level 1 indicates the case study is intended to be uncomplicated, and a Level 5 case is a very complex multi-system case. There is also the special Nightmare level category, which includes a limited collection of extremely difficult cases that incorporate topics like erroneous laboratory findings or patients with highly atypical clinical presentations. You can also search by patient age groups, such as adult or pediatric, and by patient setting. Simulation-compatible case studies may be found as a patient setting category. To clear the search criteria, click the Clear Search Parameters button. We hope this guide was helpful. Thank you for watching, and thank you for using Sage.